Hey guys, my name is Bedrick Studios, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron trilogy, Cheetor. And before we get right into this, I'd like to give a special shout out to my good friend Masterfar, who actually gave this to me because he got an extra Cheetor and he decided to ship it out to me, which I'm really happy for, and I will have his channel linked in the description. Go subscribe to him. He makes pretty good reviews, and he does a lot of custom figures, which I really like. So, without further ado, let's get right into it with his beast mode. And here we have him, obviously, in his cheetah mode, and I'd just like to say, wow. Because this thing looks so good, and it's only a deluxe class figure. Like, yeah, you can see all the hinges all around, but it's really well cleaned up for its size. Like, this packs a lot into such a small space, and it does it very efficiently, which I'm really happy about. Some of the only problems are the blue on the back of the legs, these feet hanging off, and here at the lower belly it's kind of gappy and not quite filled up, but it's really good. He also doesn't have a lot of paint on most of his areas, which isn't too big of a deal because again, this is just a deluxe. So yeah, I just really like his, I was gonna say vehicle mode, but this is his cheetah mode. I definitely recommend this. Articulation time. First of all, he has an opening and closing jaw, fully rotating legs with a ball joint that allows for some strange movement, bend at the knee, although it isn't quite 90 degrees, and a ball jointed foot. At the back, you can move this backwards and not quite forwards, but you can kind of fake it by using the hip joint here. He's also got a forward knee bend and a ball jointed foot. So overall, it's really articulated for an animal, considering that most of Hasbro's animals are just bricks. For size comparisons, here we have his Wavemate, Warpath, Grapple, Ultra Magnus, and the rest of the yellow Kid Appeal gang. So in cheetah mode, he's really well done and posable, so what's not to love about Bumblebee in a fursuit? On to robot mode. To transform Cheetor, it's actually really simple. You just fold out the legs, take off his accessory, which we'll talk about later. Then the feet, you just pull them out and fold up these feet, and they will make the front of the leg. Same with the other side. Then, getting to work on the top, you grab him by his stomach and just tear him open. These legs, you just position on the back however you like. I like to do it where they're meeting in the middle like this. And then you open his mouth, fold the head down, pull out the arms and rotate the wrists. And then these side panels will come in and finish the torso. And for the final step, it's a semi head reveal. And here he is in robot mode. And I got to admit, this is really flawed. As you can see, his shoulders are surrounded by kibble, which just make it so all the poses you get out of his arms look weird and restricted. His arms can't move back in any way, So posing isn't that dynamic, and he's got parts hanging off the hands and the feet on the front of the legs. Well, it is a great technique. In execution, it just doesn't work. And these tiny feet make it so that whenever you try and stand the thing up, it just falls over. But although I do have criticisms of it, that doesn't make it all bad. He has a really good head sculpt with the tiniest maximal symbol of all time. If I can get a good zoom in on that, not even my camera can see it, it's so small. He also has his cheetah head in the middle of his chest, which looks really, really nice. And the legs on the back are pretty accurate, but get kind of fiddly at times. So in robot mode, he's definitely more flawed than he is perfect, but it doesn't make it a bad figure, especially considering the posability. For accessories, he has this tail whip thing, which doesn't make a good weapon because if you use it as an axe, as intended, you don't get that much range, and the only other way you could use it is as a tail whip. And in combat, a tail whip isn't going to be that useful, but if you're dealing with some annoying friends, that might be. I'm talking to you, Rat Trap. Articulation time. Up, down, and all around. At the head, back legs are the same as they are in cheetah mode, but you don't really want to move them. You just kind of leave them in the same spot. Shoulder kibble can flex a bit. Shoulders have a butterfly hinge. Move forward, upward, but not really far back. They can go all the way up and all the way in. Swivel at the bicep, elbow bend, full rotation at the wrist, waist rotation, legs move forward and not that far back. The crotch flap can move out of the way of the legs, but that only gives you like a tiny bit more movement, and it just moves out of the way on its own. Thigh swivel, knee bend. Knee can also go forward and deform like that. Feet go forward, backward, and pivot. So you can get some decent poses as long as you find a way around the shoulder kibble. Such as challenging Dinobot, losing to Dinobot, and asserting his dominance. So, in conclusion, he has really good joints, but they're always hindered by some questionable design choices. For size comparisons, here we have Warpath, Grapple, and Ultra Magnus. Cheetor here is about the size of an average deluxe. So to finish off, Cheetor is really cool. Well, he does have his issues in places. That doesn't mean he's bad by any means. He's got plenty of detail. It's a lot of fun to play with, and the posability is really great. So I do recommend this figure. Another shout out to Master Far for sending this out. Again, his YouTube channel will be linked in the description of this video. I have been Better Brick Studios, and I'll see you next time.